the book that seems to be wanting to come out of me right now is all about communication and relationships and influence. And it's called Name That Mouse, because the elephant is not the only animal in the room.
And is that the late? I like so, and that's I think the same concept, right? Focusing in is what your focus is.
Well, this isn't. That's an interesting question. I wonder where focus does come into this. This is about, say, between you and me, we're chatting and whatever. There's a lot of things that might be going on in my head or in my emotions or in my body, sensations that I don't reveal to you. There's a lot that I don't reveal to myself. I may not even know that, oh, I
You
just
may
got a
not even be
little,
aware.
oh, I just got some tension in my belly, or, oh, I just felt a little sad when you said that, or maybe you said something and I felt a little bit judged. And oh, this is happening all the time between two people. Now we all relate to the elephant in the room. That's something where you know it, I know it, but no one's saying anything. But a lot of animals are much more subtle in the room, and I call them mice. And it might be simply like at the beginning, I was wondering, were you 5 minutes late? Or were you thinking that I was 5 minutes late because I couldn't get into the room? We addressed it. That was me naming a mouse. But so often we don't name the mice and then they breed. And so this book's going to be all about finding the mice in your life, in your relationships, and then naming them so that they no longer have any power and they don't separate you from the other person.
I love it. It's a great concept, and the thinking behind it strikes me as higher level as well. Let me ask my question this way: from what your focus is, it's high performers or people that are already at a certain level. You're looking to take them to that next level.
Yeah.
This concept is one really not for the beginner, is it? Everybody could be benefiting from it, but the reality is what you're talking about are the types of things that somebody that is honing in, right, or focused on this to realize, hey, these are impacting things in this way, and if I recognize it, I'm not trying to write the book here I'm just trying to elaborate the concept because it strikes me as something that would be for an advanced learner and a concept that people can apply to take themselves to the next level. Would that be fair to say?
I like that approach. It makes me think about tennis as a metaphor. If you're learning tennis, you'll start with basic things like grip and just, can I get the ball over the net? My clients are usually looking for, like, how do I serve an ace? How do I really work on my topspin? How do I be excellent? And so it is true, if you're okay with just basic communication and all of the landmines that come with that, and the avoiding tough conversations and basically telling white lies, if you're okay operating at that level, then yeah, you're not going to go and read a book like this. But the people that I'm drawn to and that are drawn to me, they're always looking for, how do I be better? I want more influence with my team. I want more influence and connection with my kids. I don't want any mice unnamed with my kids, with my partner, with my business partner. Yeah, I like your approach. It is a little bit advanced. Any beginner could take the book and just start practicing naming mice. But it's usually people who read self-help books have self-selected. They're like, I want to be better at what I do. People who hire coaches have self-selected. I want to be better. I'm not arrogant enough to think that I know everything. I know I'm good, but I know that with help I can get better. That's a winning combination.
The mouse in the room here should have that phone shut down. My apologies for that. We'll leave that in because mouse is punctuating the point. And
yeah, you just named a mouse. Like,
exactly.
You could have had that happen and not say anything, and that's fine. No big deal. But hey, let's just name it. Hey, I just noticed that happened. I apologize. We'll leave it in.
Yeah, and there is I think there's more power to that, as you say, recognizing these things and moving forward. You talked about, and you certainly do it. As I say, I was energized by our last conversation. I'm energized by this one again, David. For when you talk about being better or working with people to be better, I'd like to dig into that. So when we say being better, what are some of the things we can do to be better?
I love that question, and I want to name a mouse that, you see, I want this to become mainstream a language in our society. That's one of the reasons I'm writing the book, so that people can say, hey, can I name a mouse with you? And people will know what that means. I've even said to someone, hey, can I name a mouse with you? Do you know that expression? Of course they don't. I said, let me tell you about it. It's like an elephant in the room, but it's just much smaller. And then they're like, oh,
Because
yeah,
exactly,
okay.
as soon as you say it, oh yeah, of course, it makes sense. And then
Yeah.
yeah, it's certainly very quickly, because as you say, name the mouse, not immediately, but as you say, it's not the elephant in the room, it's the mouse. Immediately, it takes it to where the concept is going with it.
Yeah, and it's not a big deal. So I just want to name a mouse with you. When I first got on this call, you told me you were really looking forward to this call. And then just again, you said, I'm energized by this, and I'm energized by our last conversation. Has me feel really welcomed here and more relaxed. So thanks for saying that. Just wanted
That's
to name
great.
that.
That's interesting. I would, yeah, thank you. That's triggered for showing me as well that when you have a naming the mouse, immediately I was thinking it always had to be like the negative thing. You know, when you talk about the elephant in the room, it's always have a negative thing. But you're saying no, it's not just that. It's actually the little thing that's going on, and this is
Yeah,
what's going on for me right now. Yeah, brilliant.
it's reality. It's my reality. I'm sharing a piece of my world with you. And then maybe that brings up something for you, which it just did. You're like, oh, I think that's really cool. And what you, let's say we want to take this further, you might notice a sensation, or you might notice a feeling that happens. And so you share that. And now what's happening is we're ping ponging back and forth, sharing our own worlds and getting more and more connected. Whereas what normally happens in relationship is I jump over all my sensations and my thoughts and whatever, and I come up with some kind of conclusion, like a computer program that spits out the output, but you don't know how it got there. And then you do the same, and then I do the same, and it's two minds trying to just connect. This is another way where we can actually create true intimacy and influence. And I keep saying influence because I care about intimacy, but I know that a lot of business owners like where's the practical application? And it's, I just want you to know, yeah, there's a lot of feel good stuff that comes out of it, but you will have more influence and you will have more impact if you start naming mice.